Horizons Kindergarten Math, let's do a deep dive. Can we just take a second to appreciate the fact that this is all you need for the entire program? I have seen some math curriculums out there that give you an entire giant cardboard box filled with manipulatives and different resources, and I get the appeal. Like, you might feel like your child needs all that stuff, but I am here to tell you, you don't need all of that. No offense to those other curriculums. If that's working for you, great. But the thing that I love about Horizons is that they just keep it simple. So let's take a look. Inside your box, you're going to get 2 student workbooks, book 1 and book 2, and then 1 single teacher's guide for the full year. At the front of your teacher's guide, you're going to find your scope and sequence. This is basically an overview of everything your child's going to be learning throughout the year. And then look at this. This is so brilliant. They've actually broken down how the entire program is going to work. It shows you exactly how many days an introduction will last, how many days of primary practice, secondary practice, then they get a little break, then they're going to go back and review that concept and then review it again. Now let's take a look at how an actual lesson is set up. You'll see what the focus is for the day. Today it's more and less. We get an overview of the lesson here, and then we get into the materials and supplies. Now this part is super important because remember I said this curriculum does not come with a giant box of manipulatives. These are basic things that you can find around the house, and for more specific things like number line strips and number charts, they've actually provided those in the back of your teacher's guide, so you can just cut these out. You can make copies on cardstock if you want them a little more durable. Objects for counters. Now this could be something as simple as just going outside and collecting some rocks to use for counters, or maybe you want to use a bag of M&Ms, make it fun. You can be creative with your materials. The actual lessons themselves are always going to start off with the new concept. So you can see activity 1 here in my teacher's guide is going to match activity 1 in your student workbook. And then we're immediately getting into our review. Again, spiraling back to concepts that they've already learned. Horizons Math does include handwriting practice for the numbers, and then we're ending the lesson with counting by tens, a skill that they've already learned in a previous lesson, and now we're just reviewing. Now notice that the math lessons in the student workbook are only 2 pages. You get the front side and the back side, and then you're done. But you might feel like your child needs a little more. Some kids do. So in the back of your teacher's guide, they've actually provided you with extra worksheets. And these extra worksheets, these are what we call duplication masters, meaning that they're meant to be used more than once. Perhaps your child needs a little extra review. If you're homeschooling multiple kids like me, you might use these extra worksheets to buy yourself a little extra time of independent practice while you're working with your other kids. Now, after seeing that lesson, if you're thinking to yourself like, come on, Jess, there's no way that those little 2 pages a day is going to be enough for my child. I'll admit it, that was my first thought too. But the secret to them being able to keep these lessons short and sweet while keeping them effective at the same time is this development of concepts chart that I showed you in the beginning. This really shows you how often your child is going to be going back to previous concepts, reviewing them over and over and over again. So whereas the individual lesson itself doesn't go fully in depth, which is typical of a spiral-based curriculum, they're going to be adding on to that concept as they go. And this is exactly why I always recommend this program to homeschooling families who are looking for something that fits within their schedule. You're not doing 25 pages per lesson. You can add on with those extra worksheets if you want to. There's a lot of flexibility within this program. If you've got an upcoming kindergartner and maybe they have a short attention span, they need these shorter lessons, or you have a child that thrives with the colorful, engaging type lessons, this is the math program that I recommend. This is also one of the more affordable math curriculums out there, and if you want to save even more, I have a 10% off coupon. The code is JESS10. You just enter that at checkout. While you're on there, you can take the time to go through those PDF samples that I was telling you about. You can look through the student workbooks, look through the teacher's guide. You can also explore AOP's Life Pack curriculum. They've got the PDF samples on there as well. If you have any questions at all about this program or any of AOP's other curriculums, drop those in the comments. And also let me know in the comments if you've tried this curriculum. I would love to know how this worked out for you and your homeschool.